Hi everyone. So I placed an order because of Nouveau Cheap yet again. She posted about the bareMinerals 11-piece beauty surprise collection. So it was $35 with free shipping, and it was one of those you get a whole bunch of stuff but you have no idea what it is. I've only done one of these in the past, and that was an Illamasqua collection, and I probably have a video of it. It was, gosh, I don't know, 3 years ago, something like that. And that one was kind of a dud, and I wasn't super excited or pleased with the things I got. I think overall I liked maybe 3 things out of it, but that was a higher price point. I think it was closer to $60. So when she posted about this, I went and looked at previous year's stuff, and I thought that it was worth giving a try, hoping that there weren't going to be a bunch of face products that I couldn't use, whatever. But I thought $35, it seemed like there was a chance of getting some good stuff. So I did receive that, and it came with a bag. So all the stuff I think is in this little bag. And what I'm gonna do is just try most of the things on for you as we go, and just kind of showing what I got and putting it on my face. Okay, now that my face is done, I dyed my hair, obviously. If you've seen any of my other videos, it was much lighter before and gray, like everywhere. So now the gray is gone, thankfully, but it is very dark. And I also dyed my eyebrows. So there's nothing in my brows right now except for the color that I put on them last night. There's probably a little bit left on my skin that I couldn't quite get off, but in general, it's just the brow hair. And as often happens, it's very dark at the beginning, but since my hair is also very dark, it works, sort of. Okay, so I put everything except for a couple things on my face. So the first thing notable thing is that it came with this bag, so it's like kind of triangle shaped. It's because of the way that it closes and that kind of shape, it doesn't hold a huge amount of products. I'll show you what it looks like with all the stuff that came in it, because having like boxes in there, I was having a hard time getting everything in and closed. So the first thing I put on my face is the bareMinerals Prime Time Foundation Primer, and this is Neutralizing. So this is quite yellow, and I hopefully will have a little bit of a, where's a hair? The cat was like completely losing his mind, jumping on me while I was putting on foundation, so I feel like I have cat hairs like everywhere on my face. But this definitely leaves a yellow tint on my face. If you have darker skin tone, I don't think it will be that noticeable. I do feel like it cancels out the redness, but the yellow tinge is pretty strong. So I think that maybe for me, what I could do is put it on my cheeks and on my nose, and around my chin, the places that I have redness, and leave it at that because it's just too much. It does say to let it dry. Apply a thin, even layer over face, all over face, and allow to dry. So I did give this a fair amount of time to sit before I put anything on top of it. As an actual primer, so far, I don't know. I can't say how well it works, but that yellow tinge is interesting. One thing I did not put on my face is the bareMinerals concealer that this came with, and it is Summer Bisque, which is, this one did not come with the kind of twisty type thing. It just came with a sticker. So let me see if I can get some here. I was wondering if maybe I could use that as like a corrector shade. The peachiness. I feel like my lights are really washing things out, but we'll see. Usually it's a lot darker when I go to edit than what it looks like on the viewfinder. But I did try this under my eyes yesterday. Let's see. I don't know. Because it's a powder, you know, it has limited uses as a corrector. I do have, what is the one? It's the bareMinerals. It's the brightener one. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. I'll come up with a name. So I could put that over, but that tends to look kind of dry on my face. So let me stick that in there. So that's the only one that I'm pretty much sure I'm not going to be using. On my eyes, I used the bareMinerals 5-in-1 BB Advanced Performance Cream Eyeshadow, SPF 15, and Blushing Apricot. You can see that it is a little dark, but it does do a really good job kind of neutralizing the lid. It takes down the harshness of my freckles, covers up the veins, covers up that kind of purpley darkness, that kind of thing, which I appreciate. I also like that it has SPF, just in case I missed a little with my sunscreen. It's always nice to have a little bit more SPF. I did get a sample, like a deluxe sample of this at some point, which I think I still have down here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, this one. So this one's in nude, I think. And so I've had kind of varying results. So I did wear this with the shadow that this came with yesterday, and I had it on for, let's see, probably I had it on for 9 hours. I didn't have any creasing. I didn't wear a primer underneath it, and the only shadow I had on was the bareMinerals Loose Shadow. When I've worn the one that I have the sample in, I think I've had creasing when I wore a primer underneath it and this and a shadow. Wearing just that will crease, but it seems like a shadow over it works okay for me. The thing that I will say, that there's a lot of sparkle. I don't know if you can see it in my lights, because I have it all the way up to my brow bone, and so I am sparkling all over. It's very, very, very small shimmer, but there is quite a bit of it. I kind of like it, but I can totally understand if that was something that you would not enjoy. I believe the next thing I did put on foundation, so I used the NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia, and I applied that with my Real Techniques buffing brush, and I might have a before and after so we can compare, like, if that took down enough of the yellow. I don't know, because I have yellow undertones, and oh, my battery's running out. This is just a mess. So I do need a lot of yellow in my foundation. So actually, maybe that primer with a foundation that's too pink, like the Misha Signature Real Complete BB Cream in number 13. That one's a little too pink for me. Maybe that would be a good combo, the more yellow primer plus that. It's something to think about. But I'm gonna go grab my cord and I'll be right back. Okay, got all plugged in. So what was I talking about? All right, so I applied my foundation, the NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia, with a beauty blender, and then I went over the top with the mineral veil. So this is the original mineral veil, it says. And this one, I don't know if this is like the travel size or the full size, but it did come with a little clicky doohickey, so you can close it, which is nice, so you can actually travel with it. And I applied it with a brush that this set came with, and it was the Soft Focus Face brush. So it is quite soft. Other than that, I don't really have any thoughts on that yet. So I tried to kind of buff it in a little bit. I only put it in my forehead, nose area, my T-zone, okay? And tried to avoid my cheeks because my cheeks are pretty dry. I did put some blush on. It was the Milani not the baked blush. It's their old discontinued blush. I'm sure I can find the name somewhere, but I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's more of kind of a plummy neutral blush. Back to the eyes. I had a little bit of an eyeliner mishap. I was trying to just do kind of my regular liner on my top lash line with this Big&Bright eyeliner in Plum. I'm happy that there is a Plum. Did I show you the eyeshadow yet? I don't think so. I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. So let me just swatch the eyeliners real quick, and then I'll talk about the eyeshadow and swatch that guy too. Good gracious, good gracious. So this is the shadow that I applied before I put the eyeliner on. And this is a loose shadow. It also came with a sticker as opposed to any sort of locking mechanism, but I'm assuming that's normal. And it's in Nightfall. When I first got this, I thought it was going to be a little too dark, but actually it's not too dark. And it is kind of a plummy taupe, perhaps. I don't even know if you'd call it a taupe. It's a little bit warm for a taupe, if you ask me. But it has a very strong shimmer to it. So I feel like the shimmer kind of takes over the color, so you don't see as much of that plum because of the amount of shimmer, but it's a really pretty color. And so I applied that all over the lid and then just used a blending brush to take it up into my crease, and I don't have any other eyeshadow colors on. And onto the eyeliner mishap. So I was trying to just do kind of a upper lash line liner with the Plum, which is right there. And I love purple eyeliner. I don't have a lot of like plummy eyeliners, so I was quite happy to get this one. It applies quite smoothly. My lids are, there's a lot of skin to them. They're kind of loose and a little saggy and a little wrinkly and whatnot. And I don't know what happened. I wasn't as close to my mirror as I am used to. I'm not used to recording here at my desk, and so I was trying to stay back so I wouldn't have to worry about being in view of the camera, and I just got it like way too high. So I went in with a Q-tip and just kind of blended all of that out. I did notice that I had a fair amount of time to go and smudge it around. So I did wear this eyeliner yesterday as well, and it wore nicely. I wore the other liner that this came with, charcoal. I wore that yesterday just in my tight line, so kind of not in the waterline, but up at the base of my lashes, kind of underneath part, just to fill in gaps where the mascara isn't, and to add invisible eyeliner, they say. And I think it worked well enough for that. I didn't notice any issues. My eyes weren't watering or anything like that. So that's nice. And today I also put it on my lower lash line. And it's not too strong. I don't like to wear black in general on my lower lash line because I'm so fair, it just tends to be a little harsh. But I don't have a lot of good gray eyeliners, so I was quite pleased that it came with another color. I have a ton of liners, but another color that I don't really have a lot of good ones of. So that is the eyes, I think. I did put another coat of my mascara on, the CoverGirl Clump Crusher, just because my lashes were they had probably gotten some shadow and the eyeliner had gotten them all cattywampus and whatnot. So let's see. I think that is everything except for the lips. So the lips are the bareMinerals Marvelous Moxie, and this is in Daredevil. I was a little bit nervous when I saw this because the only other experience I have with these Marvelous Moxie glosses is I had one, I don't remember the name, but it was kind of a warm pinkish, coppery-ish color, but it was very opaque and it was like a frosted finish. And this kind of has a sparkly finish, but it's also quite sheer, as you can see on my lips. And there is a swatch of that. So you can see how it's more sheer, where it's spread out. It does have a little bit of a tendency to kind of collect in my lip lines a little bit, but I really like this type of color that, well, it's kind of that popsicle stain look, plus I just really like that kind of jelly look. I like to be able to see my lips underneath my lip color. I feel like it's a lot easier for me to wear. Glosses are not my favorite format, and I don't really buy gloss much anymore because I have a hard time using it. But I do like this formula. I do feel though that it's quite sheer and it does wear off really fast. But I think it's pretty and I do like it. I wouldn't buy it though just because it is it does not stick around. And it's kind of hard with my, the freckles I have along my lip line. It can look, since it's just not, it's so sheer that it doesn't really stick to that upper part of my lip very well. Let me try to pull it in here. They also have a very pepperminty smell, which I like in this case. I don't like all minty type glosses, and it's not an uncomfortable mint, but it does have that effect of even your tongue feels a little bit cooled, so it's kind of like you've had a mint. So that might be a little bit too much for some people, but I do like it. Okay, I think that's it. The only other things that this set came with are samples. There's like a foil packet sample of the, what is it? Active Cell Renewal Night Serum. So I have not looked into that, but it's kind of it's a decent size packet. So you might be able to get a couple of applications out of that, though how you're gonna keep it, I don't know. And the last thing it came with is a teeny tiny sample of mascara. This is the Lash Domination Volumizing Mascara. I've had a sample of this in the past and I did not like it. I didn't like trying to remove it. I felt like it kind of smeared on my face instead of removing. Whereas something like the, and I just use my face wash at night in the shower to take off my makeup. Something like the CoverGirl Clump Crusher comes off beautifully with any face wash, and I really appreciate that. That Lash Domination one tended to just kind of smear, and that bugs me. So everything did fit in this little case, but it was a little bit of a struggle to snap it. So I would say that, you know, on the grand scheme of things, it's on the smaller side of a makeup bag, and I think it's just because of that kind of triangle shape that really, it really limits the amount of stuff you can put in there. So overall, I'm really pleased with this set. I think that it was definitely worth $35. I don't know if I would get another one of these like next year if I would purchase that, just because, you know, I don't use a lot of finishing powder, and it will probably come with another one. And loose pigments are kind of a hassle, and I use them less. And, you know, you're just more likely to get something that you're not going to use. So, but I am glad that I got this one. I think it turned out to be a really nice value, full of things that I will actually use. So I do appreciate that. So I think that's about it. Let me know if you picked this set up, or if you've picked them up in previous years and what you thought about them, and as far as the value and how much, you know, you got out of them, if you felt like it was worth it or not. So thank you so much for watching as always. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.